Good afternoon and welcome to my kitchen. I would like to invite you to bake with me sweet rolls with different flavors of jelly inside. My little girl cannot wait to taste them. Just came back from school and she wants to have one. Welcome to my kitchen. Thank you for watching. Oh. Yep. For my sweet buns, I will need 2.5 cups of flour, and that is 300 grams, 1 egg, 4 tablespoons of soft butter, 1/4 of a cup of sugar, 1 packet of dry yeast, 1 tablespoon of honey, vanilla sugar or vanilla extract, and 2/3 of a cup of warm milk. In that warm milk, I will put my 1 tablespoon of honey and that dry yeast. I've got my milk to about 108 Fahrenheit, and now I will put my honey in and dissolve my yeast. After I mix it, I'll set it aside for a few minutes, and when I see it foamy, then it's ready to use and I can start putting my ingredients together. And I get very excited when I get to make those pastries, because growing up in Poland, my parents went to work before my school started, so my brother and I both had to walk ourselves to school. And sometimes there was no time for breakfast. And at school, we had this place which sold fresh pastries like that. And that was our breakfast, good memories. And my yeast is ready. You can see it very foamy. So I will just put everything together now. And some of the vanilla sugar. If you don't have vanilla sugar, you can just put vanilla extract. And now my milk with yeast. And mix it all up. And once you have all the ingredients incorporated, you just use your hands to mix it a little bit more, I would say 5 minutes. It is very soft. It sticks to hands just a tiny bit, but not too much. Just clean the edges here. And after 5 minutes, just leave it in that dish, cover it until it doubles in size. And it depends on the temperature you have in the house. It might take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, hour and a half. When it doubles in size, it's ready to form our buns. And finally, the exciting part, when the dough doubles in size and it's time to choose what flavor of jam do I want to put inside. So I have some apricot, blueberry and strawberry. Since everybody in my family likes different flavors, I can satisfy all of them, all of us. And before I forget, those jams need to be room temperature. Yeast dough likes warm and not cold. So if you have a fresh new jar, then it's room temperature already. But if you have it taken out from fridge, just like I did, they need to be warmed up a little bit. So you can see it doubled in size. So I will need some flour. And since I have 2 smaller children who fight about who gets what and how big, I will measure my buns so they are almost exactly the same size. I will try to get it to 70 grams, about 70 grams. So I have about 9 of those rolls. So now what I need to do is flatten it, put my favorite jelly in, And again, room temperature. It can be cold and it can be hot. Hot will make your dough wet and soggy, and you don't want that. And here we go. And there will be a crumble on top. So don't worry about the shape. It doesn't have to be perfect. The crumble will cover it perfectly. I remember those buns when Grandma made them. Love going to Grandma's every weekend. When we went, we always had some kind of a treat. And now I changed it to apricot. And now time for the blueberry, and you have to be very careful with the blueberry because they have very intense color, so if your fingers get yucky then it will go all over the dough. I love blueberries, but they are quite messy. Okay, here we go, perfect. If you don't want anything inside, you can make perfect shape and just leave it the way it is. And here it is. Now we need to cover it and leave it out for another half an hour. While I'm waiting for those to rise, I will prepare my crumble. And for my crumble, I will use about 3 tablespoons of butter, and I like to cut it into smaller pieces because I'm using cold butter. Cold butter is best for crumble. And about 4 tablespoons of flour and 4 tablespoons of sugar. I like to mix white sugar with brown sugar, so I will put 3 tablespoons of white sugar and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. And now I will just mix it all up. So again, the butter is here kind of like a glue to keep it all together. And what you're looking here for is the consistency. If it falls apart easily, but also sticks together easily, then your crumble is ready. It cannot be too wet or very, very dry, because if it's too dry, it won't stick. So here you go. When you press it, it comes together, but then it falls apart very, very easily, and that's perfect. This is ready. Just have to wait a few more minutes for my dough to double in size. And also I would like to add, for the crumble, if you want to change something, you can add different flavors of sugar, and then it will change the flavor of the crumble a little bit. So I have orange sugar, lemon sugar, and vanilla sugar. So if you prefer a different flavor, you can choose any, or there is even coconut sugar, and you can put that sugar in your crumble and, you know, change things just a little bit. So my buns doubled in size, and what I have here is melted butter. I will coat those buns with the butter so they are extra crispy, and so my wonderful delicious crumble stays on top. If it's not sticky, it will fall to the bottom of the pan, and I want that crumble on top. My children love the crumble. They don't want to eat those buns if there is no crumble on them. And while I'm doing this, I preheated the oven to 355. And those rolls will bake for about 15, 18 minutes, not longer. And I will show you how they need to look like when they are baked. And here is my crumble. And this is why I said don't worry about the shape if it's not perfect, because this crumble will cover all the imperfections. It's the taste that mattered the most. Oh well, maybe I overdone it with the crumble today. My kids are sure going to be happy. Here we go, in the oven for at least 15 minutes now. And the beautiful sound, my buns are ready. Ooh. And that awesome smell. So here we go. Now we have to wait half an hour or so, and then I can cut it in half. Thank you for watching. And as I said before, the kids will be so happy. There's lots of crumble on them. Bon appetit! Smacznego! Until next time.
I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
And you love it?
It's yummy.
Yummy.
Crumble.